Hi everyone, it's Chenzo from Reality Art Pod, here to talk about Survivor Season 48, Episode 9, titled Welcome to the Party. Last week on Survivor, players competed for immunity and reward, which left Eva with immunity and a clue to an advantage, and Chrissy went down swinging, becoming the second member of the jury. Before I dive in, I put a link in the description to catch up on my previous recaps. If you like the content, consider liking and subscribing. My videos aren't meant to replace the original content. I encourage you to watch the episode to enjoy and form your own opinion. You can use the link in my description to try Paramount Plus for free and binge tons of Survivor. But let's dive into it. Following Chrissy's elimination, Shaheen is puzzled about Chrissy's vote for him. The way he sees it, if she had a problem with the muscle guys, why didn't she vote for them? He's paranoid that everyone is out to get him now. David confesses to Camilla that he was targeting her. She calls him an idiot for the whole thing. David wants to figure out why Kyle was going so hard to protect Camilla. He's on the case. The next day, the Strong Six watch the sunrise. Eva loves they can now pick off the rest of the players. David starts pushing Camilla as a target early, with Mary supporting him in it. Kyle is obviously still annoyed by this. He tells us it's time to play. He starts running game with Shaheen, painting to him that they need to turn on David and Mary, basically saying, Shaheen, they're telling you they're after Camilla, but they're really after you. A great way to win over a paranoid player like Shaheen. Things get really tense on the beach between David and Kyle. David is trying to intimidate Kyle. It's not working. And now Kyle is starting to think about cutting Mary to weaken him, then David next. At night, Eva finally gets her time to sneak out and try to get her advantage from the taco reward. Eva slips away, but Shaheen follows her and is totally onto her. Shaheen whispers to Joe that Eva's gone while he's sleeping, which disturbs Joe. He doesn't want to see Shaheen's beard when he's sleeping, and he doesn't care about this. Eva gets to a torchlit station where she learns that she has an extra vote. She can keep the extra vote and leave right now, or risk it and choose a 50-50 chance of upgrading to safety without power, or losing the extra vote. Seems like an easy decision to me. I would have tried to get the bigger power. So did Eva. So she gets the safety without power, meaning she can excuse herself from one tribal from now until Final 7. She's offered another chance to risk it, to potentially turn her safety without power into an idol, but she decides to stop playing and take home what she's won. Clever girl. In the morning, Eva comes clean about the whole thing to the guys. Joe is pleased that she confessed because he knows he can trust her. Shaheen is also disarmed by Eva telling him about this, so everybody still trusts Eva. Kyle meets with Camilla, who he treats like his imaginary friend. They strategize, and the tension between David and Kyle continues to flare. David is now fully convinced that Kyle and Shaheen have assembled an army of the rest of the players against them. David even tells Joe that Joe went back on his word when he didn't vote for Camilla. Joe is offended. He would never go back on his word. David, you're tripping, boo. I wish the show would focus more on the positive characters on the beach. What are they up to? Finally, we see that Mitch is trying to teach Star how to swim. Star kind of learns how to swim. These cuties are out here making good. Star tells us on her next Survivor season, she's going to be swimming like a fish. Kyle talks to Joe as they supervise his daughter Eva swimming in the water. Kyle feels like the aggressiveness at camp from David was disturbing to him. Kyle tells us as a kid, he got into trouble at a young age. He even went to jail for a few weeks and was studying for school in jail. Sharing this with Joe helps to build that bond. And Joe tells Kyle that David accused Joe of not being a man of his word. They're both over David's BS at this point. Joe brings this to Eva. Eva really likes David, so Joe tries to get Eva to understand what's going on. Eva's not down to break up their group, which makes sense. It's good for Eva for everything to just go the way they've been going. They head to their immunity challenge where Jeff has his pirate accent on. It's Survivor 48 is my impression of Jeff's pirate accent. For their challenge, they'll be holding a handle to keep tension on a ball above them. The last player standing wins immunity and reward of ham and cheese wraps and chocolate-covered strawberries. You know the show's looking to lighten up the mood when they pump aphrodisiacs into the mix. They get started. Star is quick to drop, followed by Mary, Camilla, Mitch, and Eva. When Shaheen and Kyle drop, it's down to Joe and David, both imagining their ball is full of their morals and integrity to keep them preciously preserved overhead. David barely budged the whole time, but shockingly he falls off his perch, giving Joe immunity. David is so upset, he's having a BF over there to the side. Joe chooses to share his reward with Mitch, Shaheen, and Eva. He tells us he's still got it and can keep up with the young punks. Okay. Back at camp, Mary is consoling David. Kyle makes a weird comment about David and Mary looking like very close friends and insinuating there's more going on. Star comes out of nowhere and approaches David and Mary, asking them if they're down to vote out Shaheen. They tell her they think Shaheen has an idol, so they're not really down. She's like, okay, bye, I tried. On the reward, Mitch tells Joe, Eva, and Shaheen that he's down to take out David. Shaheen tells us he's been laying the groundwork to get David out for days, with flashbacks to him talking crap all over camp about David, saying he's been planting the seeds for this to happen. He confesses, welcome to the party, David. Oops, Shaheen said the thing. David and Mary continued to try to target Camilla. Eva isn't liking this paranoia, and when Kyle tells Eva he's thinking of targeting David, Eva's rattled. Eva owns that she can't really tell when people are lying. She does think everyone's loyal with her, but there's too much going on and she needs Joe's help unpacking all of it. They head to Tribal, where talk is about the paranoia in the game. Joe points out that vibes are changing. Star's trying to get a crowbar and bust an alliance open. Eva's transparent that she feels solid in the game. She's sure in what she's doing and feels just fine. David again says he wants to go to the end with strong players, to which which Camilla says David doesn't think about the jury. Star translates that Camilla is basically saying she'll never vote to give David $1 million. Yup. They head to vote, no advantages are played, and Jeff reads the votes. There are 3 votes in that thing for Mitch, from David, Mary, and Star. 6 votes from everyone else went to David. So David's voted out, and David is pissed. If I were there, I'd be terrified. So we lose David here, who coming into the show was this silly stuntman who knew nothing about Survivor. Pre-merge, he helps the Sivas go undefeated in immunities. Also being in the majority alliance on that tribe the whole time, it gave him flexibility to have fun. And through it, we got a lot of personal content about him, his career, his nipples, his love of milk, his relationship with his girlfriend who's only in it for the moolah. Is she gonna break up with him now that he didn't win the show? Will we ever find out? Do I really care, or is it just a bit? Probably that. Around the merge, when he starts preaching integrity and bringing the good people to the end, that was ironically dark-sided and took him from being a fun character to a toxic figure, contributing to this dark cloud that's been looming over the game that's making it not so fun to watch. Now that he's gone, maybe the game can break open for these other players. I'm gonna say it, y'all. I know you hate when I say it. Toxic masculinity. David's got that big TM energy. I don't like this guy. I know the show and Jeff seems to love him. They can keep him. He can do Jeff's stunts when he falls in the challenge. Kyle was working it in this episode, and I'm still convinced that he's the winner. The preview for next episode hinted that the players on the outskirts were gonna come together and rise up against the strong players. What happens in the preview never happens, but I'm holding out hope for the Stars and the Marys to get it together. But that's all I have to say about this episode. Let me know in the comments what you thought about the episode and David's departure. If you like the content, consider liking and subscribing. I'll be back next Wednesday with more Survivor. I'm also working on a big season recap of Battle Camp, which is taking me some time, so stay tuned for that. Until next time, you know where to find me. Bye.